Welcome to Inside the Summit League. Baseball and track and field coming up this week, and we will meet Billy Wright, the new men's basketball coach at Western Illinois. But it is Summit League tournament time in softball. They are playing this week in Fargo. North Dakota State is the number 1 seed again this year after edging out Fort Wayne in the final week of the regular season. In Vermilion, the Bison getting right to it. One on for Janina Ortega. And that is gone. Cheyenne Garcia scores in front of Ortega, and the Bison jump out to a 2-0 lead. Krista Menke for North Dakota State had 6 strikeouts in 3 innings. She actually came in, got the save in this game for the Bison. Coyotes tied the game in the third, though. Yvonne Minogue with the base hit scores Katie Denning and Lindsey Boyd. Tied 2-2, but Rachel Q was great except for that wild pitch. Garcia scores the game winner, and the Bison take game 1, 3-2. Game 2 on Friday, the Bison runners on as usual, kind of a semi-squeeze, but they keep the game scoreless there on a nice play at third base. Alex Sobrero for North Dakota State. That's solid. Brandy Enriquez scores, and North Dakota State up again early, 3-0. They get 2 more in the third. Jenna Isbell lifts that to left, and it falls in. Amanda Grable coming on. And it's 5-0 Bison. Would have been worse in this inning, but look at the play at third by Lindsey Boyd. The snag and the tag to get the Yotes out of the inning, down 5-0. USD gets its only run here in the 4th inning. A liner by Morgan Hancock. Minogue comes around to make it 5-1, but Bison load them up again in the 7th, and Janina Ortega unloads them. Second straight game with a homer for her. Bison win 10-1. They take 3 in a row to wrap up the regular season championship. And they edge Fort Wayne by a half game in the standings, even though Fort Wayne took 3 in a row at IUPUI. Jocelyn Oppenheis only gave up 2 runs, but her offense only managed to get her 1 hit in the shutout here. Caitlin DeYoung cranks out a solo home run here for Fort Wayne in the top of the 2nd. That's the only run they would need in this game because Miranda Kramer struck out 15. She leads the league by more than 100 strikeouts right now. She gave up only 1 hit in the ball game. Kramer goes to 18-8 on the season, and Fort Wayne takes game 1 in the series here, 2-0. Game 2 was close as well, and it starts out with Danny Pugh, a 3-run shot for the Dons in the 1st inning, and Fort Wayne got out to a 6-0 lead in this game. But IUPUI comes back. They get 4 coming up here in the 2nd inning. Lindsay Richards with an RBI right there. Ronnie Patterson had a homer and a double for the Jags, but Fort Wayne hangs on to win this one 7-5, and they sweep IUPUI 4-0 to win in Game 3. After a good start to the season, Western Illinois has taken a fall, taking a 9-game losing streak into this weekend series against Omaha. Omaha won the first game 4-0. Here's Game 2. That's Allie Mathewson with the home run. Check out the effort here by Brianna Williams for Western out in center field, literally an inch short on the home run by Campbell Ditto, 11th of the season for Ditto. Omaha, by the way, has the number 1, 2, and 3 home run hitters in the league. League's leading hitter here, Sammy Marshall, did go 1 for 3, but 8-0 Omaha in Game 2. And in Game 3, Marshall, again with a single and 3 trips. She is batting .471, but the Leathernecks could not get a run across in this one. Top of the 2nd, little rally for Omaha. They put 2 on with 1 out, and then Tara Treaty comes through. Liz Mancuso and Tanya Peterson will score. Omaha sends Western to a 12th straight loss. 2-0 is the final in this one. So here are the final regular season standings. Omaha finishes 12-6, Western at 4-13. North Dakota State the champions for the 3rd year in a row, so the Bison will host the league tournament again this year. Fort Wayne beat North Dakota State in the tournament championship last year. Here is Fort Wayne pitcher Miranda Kramer talking about making the return trip to Fargo.
Winning it last year was actually a big thing for our confidence, you know, for us thinking, every year we've been there, we come up 1 short or come up 2 short, you know. So going there last year and winning was probably one of the most memorable things that will ever happen to me. But going to Fargo this year and winning that series, I think it meant a lot just because we want to prove to people that it wasn't by chance that we won last year. We want them to know that we deserved to win last year, and we're going to come back and try our best to get another one this year.
Baseball coming up later. Track and field coming up next. Some new Summit League season best set over the weekend in Sioux Falls.
This isn't an epic sports commercial.
There's no Hollywood director. There's no $1 million budget. There's no slow motion.
Or stadiums filled with crowds.
It's just us.
Us.
Real athletes.
Real athletes who want to get better, get stronger,
and make the starting lineup. Be healthy and active.
And this is where we'll do it.
The Sanford Sports Complex, a game-changing destination. Learn more at sanfordsports.com.
Minutes east of Sioux Falls stands Grand Falls Casino and Golf Resort. A casino in a brand new way, where you can turn an evening out into a winning night out. Spin a day off into a day of play. Who says life next door shouldn't be grand? Start your engines for our summer car giveaway now through July 27th. Earn entries for your chance to win. Grand Falls Casino and Golf Resort, a brand new way to eat, play, and stay.
Is it a good time to buy a Honda Accord?
We don't call it the Spring Into a Honda sales event for nothing.
What makes this Accord so special?
Rear-view camera, Bluetooth, Pandora compatibility, all standard.
I'm not convinced.
It's an IIHS 2014 top safety pick.
There's a bear behind you.
Way to stay on your toes, Roberts.
This is not a drill. Get a great deal during the Spring Into a Honda sales event. Now at your Honda dealer.
Inside the Summit League is brought to you by Sanford Health, Grand Falls Casino, and Dakota Land Honda. Welcome back. Well, North Dakota State will host the Summit League Outdoor Track and Field Championships next week. NDSU and SDSU and USD and Omaha all tuned up over the weekend with some first-place finishes at the Howard Wood Dakota Relays in Sioux Falls. Well, the University of South Dakota has some of the best pole vaulters in the nation in the last couple of years. They're keeping up that tradition this year. This is Madison Mills. She was the Summit League Athlete of the Week last week after winning this event at the Drake Relays. Had the best in the league so far in that event, or at that event. Mills goes 13 feet 5 1/4 here on Friday to finish second. She and teammate Hunter Wilkes both cleared the same height, with Wilkes the winner based on fewer misses. Elsewhere at the Howard Wood Dakota Relays, men's 400 meters, Mark Huseman of South Dakota State has the fastest time in the league so far this season, wins by 1/100 of a second in a time of 49.62. Men's 200, Tavaski Lewin of South Dakota turns in a 21:29. That is the fastest time in the league this season. And don't have the actual race, but North Dakota State's women set a new Dakota Relays record in the 4x400 relay in 3:40 flat. They won it by more than 10 seconds. Morgan Milbrath, Paige Stratiotti, Ashlyn Simon, and Ashley Tinglestead make up the squad, and they head into the Summit League Championships next week. All right, back to the ballpark. How tight is the league this year in baseball? Some even numbers in a 4-game set between Omaha and South Dakota State. Each team won twice. Adam Bray was really good for the Jacks in Game 1. Goes 8 good innings, but takes the loss. Bottom of the first Jackrabbit hitter is Scott Splett, and that is gone as the Jacks take an early 1-0 lead. Each team scored 9 runs in the series. Each team had 9 walks, 3 errors. It was totally even. Tyler Fox, though, settles down for Omaha here. Strikes out 4, gives up just 6 hits over 7 innings in Game 1. Jacks get another lone run in the bottom of the second. Cody Sharrow sends that one over the left fielder's head. Al Robbins coming in, and the Jacks are up 2-0. But Mavericks come back in the 4th inning. Caleb Polinsky, one of the league leaders in knocking in runs. That's a double. Clayton Taylor scores. And so does Brett Bass on the beauty of a slide. Ties it at 2-2. And then in the 8th inning, Alex Schultz at the plate for the Mavericks. And that is the game winner. Colin Life is going to come around to score. Omaha comes back to win Game 1, 3-2. And then the Mavericks went 16 innings over the next 2 games without scoring a run. Game 2 of the series here on Saturday. Chris Anderson, a solid start for the Jackrabbits. 5 hits, 5 innings for Anderson, no runs allowed. Steven Schoonover was good for Omaha, too. He leads the league in ERA, allowed just 1 hit in 6 innings, or 1 run, that is, in 6 innings, and it comes right here on a 2-out single by Scott Splett. Zach Holt scores the only run of the game, and the Jacks win 1-0 on that walk-off. More salty Jackrabbit pitching in the second game on Saturday. This is Chad Hodges, 8 innings, 5 hits, no runs. He is the pitcher of the week for the 4th time this season, and he leads the Jacks now with 6 wins on the season. Jacks get him a run in the bottom of the first. Matt Johnson at the plate, and a throw is coming, but Scott Splett is safe, turns out. Again, that's the only run they need in this game. Sam Pack will draw a bases-loaded walk as SDSU gets 2 more runs in the 8th inning, and the Jacks in a second straight shutout win this one 3-0. And then Omaha evens the series in Game 4 on Sunday. Mavs jump on the Jacks with 4 runs in the 5th inning. Tyler Spleakle drives in a couple. Cole Gruber comes in to score. Gruber had 3 hits for Omaha in the game. Next batter is Danny Suter, and that is gone. Second home run of the season for Suter, and the Mavericks out to a 4-0 lead. Jacks get 1 back in the bottom of the 5th inning. Zach Coppola with the hit. Zach Coppola, I should say. Al Robbins coming to the plate for the Jacks to get him a run back here. But after going 20 innings in all over 2.5 games without scoring a run, a long stretch for the Mavs. Gruber and the Mavs come back with 11 hits in Game 4. They win this one 6-3. Back to finish up baseball after the break. North Dakota State coming on a bit here late in the year. We'll check out the Bison at Fort Wayne.
Since 1982, the Summit League has been achieving excellence. Beyond providing a quality education to more than 120,000 students, the league continues to strengthen its reputation of being nationally competitive in athletics. Today, more than 3,000 elite student athletes at 8 institutions embody the vision, purpose, and innovation the Summit League represents. These young men and women are reaching for the summit in both athletic and academic endeavors.
I like this Honda CR-V.
We've got great deals during the Spring Into a Honda sales event.
Slow down, hotshot.
The CR-V has a rear-view camera, Bluetooth, Pandora compatibility, all standard.
Is that it?
And the CR-V is the most durable in its class.
Are those McPherson struts?
Indeed.
Nice work, Smith.
This is not a drill. Get a great deal during the Spring Into a Honda sales event. Now at your Honda dealer.
Minutes east of Sioux Falls stands Grand Falls Casino Resort. A casino in a brand new way, where you can turn an evening into a winning night out. Spin a day off into a day of play. Who says life next door shouldn't be grand? Grand Falls welcomes Engelbert Humperdinck, Saturday, May 31st at 8 p.m. Call, click, or visit for tickets.
At Shields, we know gear, fashion, and sports are an essential part of your lifestyle, because whether you're on the river or the town, we're all looking to be the best we can be. Whether it's a bike ride through the falls, a weekend at the lake, or your next tea time, our newly renovated store in Sioux Falls is ready to outfit you with more gear, more looks, and more fashion. Shields, in Sioux Falls since 1977, and expanding now at the corner of 41st Street and Western Avenue.
Inside the Summit League is brought to you by Sanford Health, Grand Falls Casino, and Dakota Land Honda. Welcome back to baseball. North Dakota State at Fort Wayne over the weekend, and other than a shutout by NDSU's Parker Truen, pitching was somewhat optional. The offenses were high octane in this series. Well, the Bison and the Dons split a pair of 11-10 games in the first 2 of the series. North Dakota State right at it in Game 1. Nick Altavilla is doubling there. A little collision between Kleinendorst and Caleb Fenimore at the plate there. No harm done. Apparently, Bison out to a 3-0 lead, but Fort Wayne pounds out 16 hits in the ballgame. Shane Trevino drives in 3 runs. Malcolm White coming in to score. He had 4 hits and scored 3 times. And this man leads the league in home runs right now. Christian Gayday goes 3 for 4 RBI, and the Dons win Game 1, 11-10. Same score, just flip it around in Game 2. North Dakota State with 15 hits, including a 2-run home run from Kleinendorst. He is the player of the week. He goes 9 for 20 in the 4 games, 11 RBI. 3 home runs for Kleinendorst in the series, and they just took turns beating up on each other's pitchers. Tim Caldwell had a couple of hits. That brings the Funk home to Paul Funk scores, and the Bison build an 11-8 lead and hang on. Steve Loudon had 4 RBI for Fort Wayne, but the Bison win this one 11-10. North Dakota State cruised in Game 3 by a score of 12-0, and then Fort Wayne comes back here in Game 4 on Sunday. Dons double dip, and Carter DeBow takes second. Evan Van Sumeren takes home, and it's 2-0 Fort Wayne. John Timmerman going to be out on the chopper here, but Kevin Worth comes in to score, and it's 5-0 Fort Wayne at the end of the first inning. Back at it in the 6th. Steve Loudon again had a good series. Through the right side, Christian Gade comes in to score, and they build the lead up. But Kleinendorst, the player of the week, had 2 more hits in the ballgame. Comes through with a sac fly RBI here. North Dakota State out-hit Fort Wayne 12-7, but the Dons win 8-4 in this one to split this series. So, with 2 weeks left in the regular season, Fort Wayne at 10-10 in the league. The Bison are at 8-10. There are 3 teams right now at 500. Western Illinois on top of Omaha by a game. Western plays at South Dakota State this weekend. Omaha is at home against Fort Wayne. After the break, we'll introduce you to the new men's basketball coach at Western Illinois. He's all right.
Time to buy a Honda Accord?
We don't call it the Spring Into a Honda sales event for nothing.
What makes this Accord so special?
Rear view camera, Bluetooth, Pandora compatibility, all standard.
I'm not convinced.
It's an IIHS 2014 top safety pick.
There's a bear behind you.
Way to stay on your toes, Roberts.
This is not a drill. Get a great deal during the Spring Into a Honda sales event. Now at your Honda dealer.
These are places of excellence, where big efforts yield big results. The places where perfection is perfected. But without the players, without the performance, these are only places. The stage is set. Now, exceed yesterday. Choose Sanford Orthopedics and Sports Medicine.
Minutes east of Sioux Falls stands Grand Falls Casino and Golf Resort. A casino in a brand new way, where you can turn an evening out into a winning night out. Spin a day off into a day of play. Who says life next door shouldn't be grand? Start your engines for our summer car giveaway now through July 27th. Earn entries for your chance to win. Grand Falls Casino and Golf Resort, a brand new way to eat, play, and stay.
Inside the Summit League is brought to you by Sanford Health, Grand Falls Casino, and Dakota Land Honda. Well, some professional hoop honors this week for a former Summit League basketball player. The NBA Development League has named Frank Gaines as its most improved player. Gaines averaged 20 a game last year at Fort Wayne. He averaged 22 points a game this year for the Maine Red Claws in the D-League. Well, every team in the Summit League in basketball now has a head coach. There are 5 new coaches on the men's side, including Billy Wright at Western Illinois, a former assistant who comes home to Macomb now to take over as the main man.
I'm Bo Spencer, voice of the Leathernecks, and I'm joined with the 20th head coach at Western Illinois University in the men's basketball program, new head coach Billy Wright. Billy was hired last week, and it's been a process here, 5 years at Western Illinois University. In your playing and coaching career, what are some of the things that you've picked up along the way that you'll instill in the WIU men's basketball program?
One thing, for the most part, is kind of what I talked about when I first got the job at the press conference, and the all-in motto. And it's being the best person you can be the best student you can be the best basketball player you can be. And with the basketball component, I always want them to play hard, play smart, play together, play as a unit. So, I've learned as a player you can't do it as, all by yourself. Not one guy. It's bigger than the program. It takes a tremendous amount of hard work, sacrifice, and determination to win a championship, and I definitely will bring that here.
When you came back to the introductory press conference, a lot of your colleagues were there, a lot of the community was back to support you. What was it like to see such support at your press conference?
It was definitely a great feeling to see the support, and I really appreciate that. First class, Tommy Bell, the athletic administration, did a great job setting everything up. They took care of my wife, my son. We were taken care of from the time we arrived to Macomb, hopefully to my entire career here. But at the same time, it was a great showing. Really appreciate the fan support, and felt just like a long weekend. I was away for a little under 11 and a half months, and I literally still had some stuff in the boxes that I needed to unpack, but things happen for a reason. I'm glad I was in the right place at the right time. It feels good to be back.
What was so attractive about this Western Illinois men's basketball coaching position?
Just being familiar with from the top down, from the administration all the way down to the players. The majority of the players that are currently on this roster, I had a hand in directly or indirectly recruiting them. So it just felt so comfortable coming back. It was, to me, again, a really, really great opportunity to be a head coach. It's few and far between, there's guys in this business who, the entire career, they're assistant coaches. So when I had the opportunity, and I just jumped on it right away.
Now that you've begun to put your fingerprint on this Leatherneck basketball program, you've talked to the players, you've hit the recruiting trail really hard. How has that transition gone here in the first week and a half of taking over as the head coach?
Well, it's pretty much consumed a lot of what we've been doing the last week. I've been on the job 8 days, I do believe, and it's just recruiting. Right? And we had a staff meeting yesterday, and I talked about just being, recruiting, player development, and player development involves our own players that are currently here on campus, being in tune with their academics, being in tune with their development in the weight room, being in tune with their needs as we finish up these last 2-3 weeks of school. So those are the two things that I hit them on right away. We have to recruit. We have a few scholarships available. We signed 2 kids. We'll announce that here shortly, but at the same time, we still have a long ways to go. The roster was a little depleted, to be quite honest, but the current roster and the players that we have are really good. The culture's right, the locker room's right. Now we just have to get the talent to take it to the next level.
Campus Spotlight coming up next. We'll take you to Brookings and see what the visual arts program is all about.
Minutes east of Sioux Falls stands Grand Falls Casino Resort. A casino in a grand new way, where you can turn an evening into a winning night out. Spin a day off into a day of play. Who says life next door shouldn't be grand? Grand Falls welcomes Engelbert Humperdinck Saturday, May 31st at 8 p.m. Call, click, or visit for tickets.
I like this Honda CR-V.
We've got great deals during the Spring Into a Honda sales event.
Slow down, hotshot.
The CR-V has a rear-view camera, Bluetooth, Pandora compatibility, all standard.
Is that it?
And the CR-V is the most durable in its class.
Are those McPherson struts?
Indeed.
Nice work, Smith.
This is not a drill. Get a great deal during the Spring Into a Honda sales event. Now at your Honda dealer.
This isn't an Epic Sports commercial.
There's no Hollywood director. There's no $1 million budget. There's no slow motion.
Or stadiums filled with crowds.
It's just us.
Us.
Real athletes.
Real athletes.
Who want to get better, get stronger,
and make the starting lineup. Be healthy and active.
And this is where we'll do it.
The Sanford Sports Complex, a game-changing destination. Learn more at sanfordsports.com.
Inside the Summit League is brought to you by Sanford Health, Grand Falls Casino, and Dakota Land Honda. Welcome back. We take you to beautiful Brookings, South Dakota, and this week's Campus Spotlight at South Dakota State University.
Design has become forefront in our culture and society. Design touches every part of everybody's life every day, from the clothes they wear, to the cars they drive, to the books they read, to the computers they use. All businesses and all industries and all parts of our society need more creative thinking and problem solving, and that's what design thinking does. Every class we teach in design deals with design thinking from the very start. If a student comes to South Dakota State University, we have a really unique program for them. They can receive certificates in the fine art areas, and we promote those certificates. We love to have our graphic designers have a certificate in animation, or a certificate in painting, or a certificate in drawing, or ceramics, or even sculpture.
The program is really interesting to me because when I came to college, I assumed that I would dig it right into getting into computers and things like that. But what they try to teach you here is that it's not exactly that. You need to be able to draw, you need to be able to know how colors work and paint and things like that before you can get on the computer, because the computer is just a tool.
We've seen that their study of the fine arts really does inform their creative efforts in graphic design. The Sodak Animation Festival is quickly becoming one of the top cultural events in the Upper Midwest. It really began about 3 or 4 years ago. It was collaboration with Daktronics. Daktronics became one of the major funders. They saw the vision of it. They saw what it would do. I think they understood very intuitively that it would make their animators better. Last year, we had over 700 people attend the festival. We had 150 films screened from around the world.
It was an awesome opportunity to meet animators from all around the country. It's fun to talk to people from New York that have been animating professionally. At SDSU, they set you up with a lot of knowledge to pursue your passion in art. I get to work in class. Cable Harding, the professor, wants me to present a bumper or an advertisement, so I'm working on a hand-drawn stop-motion picture for the festival.
I tell the students, I say there's 3 things you got to have when you graduate. You got to have a degree, and we'll make sure you get that. You got to have a portfolio, and we're going to make sure you get that. And the 3rd thing you have to have is experience. And then you have that 3-legged stool, and that's really great stability. Eric Say graduated a couple years ago in graphic design with his certificate in animation. He worked 20 hours a week when he was a student out at Daktronics. Now works in New York City. He got a design job doing motion graphics for NBC Universal, most recently for the Olympics and also for this last Super Bowl. It's a remarkable story, and if people really knew that our design students were having those kind of experiences, they wouldn't send their kids anyplace else.
SDSU's art department offers so many opportunities. There's a huge community of creative minds, and getting involved with it is just one of the coolest things you'll ever do.
There's a lot of naysayers out there, but they don't really understand the power of the arts, and they don't understand the power of design and its place in our society. And I think you'll find at South Dakota State University, you will have the opportunities that you need to follow your passion, follow your dreams.
Thanks again to all of our Summit League shooters around the league. Softball going on this week in Fargo. We'll run down the championships next week on Inside the Summit League.